So in this session, we are going to see how to create new voucher type in Tally Prime. So let's understand why we need to create a voucher type and what are the predefined voucher types we have. So as you've seen, there are predefined voucher types available to record a transactions in Tally Prime. However, you can also create a new voucher types as per your requirements by using a predefined voucher types. But we should not edit a predefined voucher type names. By using a predefined voucher types, you can create n number of voucher types as per your requirements. So we'll see how to create a new voucher types in Tally Prime. So we have already created a company called Avanayukta Solutions and Creative Business Solutions. So if you want to create a new voucher type, so I go with a scenario. If I want to maintain a cash sales register separately and a credit sales register separately with a different sequence number. So I'm into a business, a retail business. I want to maintain a sales register separately and credit register separately with a separate series. I may get a walk-in customer who pay a cash and he'll take a product, and I'll get some retailers who purchase a product on credit basis and in a future date he'll repay it. So if I'm maintaining all these things in one sales voucher, I may get confused, or for my reporting part I need to check with a different reports. To bifurcate this, what I can do is I can create a new voucher type called cash sales and credit sales separately, so that whenever a walk-in customer comes and he'll purchase the goods, I can pass a transaction in cash sales. When a retailer comes, when I purchase a goods, I can go with a credit sales. At the end of the month, I can easily come to know what are the cash sales I have done and what are the credit sales I have done. Everything in a single report with bifurcation. So if you want to create a voucher types like this, you can go to create voucher type. For example, if I go with sales and if I press enter, it says name already exists, enter a different name. So sales is a voucher type. It has been predefined in Tally Prime. So no need to give a name called sales. And even you should not edit a predefined voucher types, whatever it is showing in Tally Prime. If you want to create a new one. So in this scenario, I want two voucher types. One is cash sales and one is credit sales. I should not edit a default sales as cash sales, and I should not create a new one as credit sales. I should create cash sales also as well as credit sales, and sales remains as it is. So we go with this concept. I go with cash sales. This is a type of sales. I'll select a predefined voucher type here as sales, and abbreviation will be a sales. It takes automatically. And active this voucher type. Yes, if you want to use this voucher type while passing a transaction, this option should be yes. And method of vouchering number. So we go with automatic, or you can go with automatic manual override, manual, multi-user auto, none, whatever it is as per your requirement. So even you can give some prefix and suffix to your voucher numbers. So that we'll see in a voucher numbering video. So we go with automatic, and you have an option called use effective date for vouchers. So if you enable this option as yes, only for this cash sales you get a effective date option, a one more date field in a voucher type. So we'll enable this option to yes. So we'll see what happens or how it shows in a voucher. So next we have allow zero value transactions. So if you want to pass a transaction without giving a values, so you can enable this option to yes and you can pass. Otherwise you can skip. Usually will not pass a zero value transaction unless until you give a free products for a customer, like buy one get one free, or buy computer and get a keyboard as a free of cost. So in this scenarios we use zero value transactions. This will see in a zero value transaction class. So next we have make this voucher type as optional by default. By enabling this option, the voucher will behave like a permanent non-accounting vouchers. So whatever the transaction you pass by using this transaction, it will not affect your books of accounts if the option is yes. So we'll not enable this option to yes, let it be no. So next we have allow narrations in vouchers. If the option is yes, then you can pass a narration for each and every transaction. You can give a remarks why you are passing this transaction, what was the reason for this transaction. You can give a elaboration message in a narration. So let it be yes. And next we have provide narration for each ledger in voucher. So if this option is yes, for each and every ledgers, when you take a ledger to pass a transaction, immediately Tally will ask you to give a narration on a ledger basis. For each and every ledger you can give a narration. So we'll not follow this method usually. We usually follow the narrations for the entire transaction, not for our individual ledgers. So let it be no. So I'll enable this also for understanding the concept what happens if it is yes and no. So we'll enable this and enable default accounting allocation, let it be no, and print voucher after saving. So once the transaction has been passed, once you save the transaction, so Tally will ask you to print a invoice or a vouchers if the option is yes. If not, you have to give a print command. So next we have use for POS invoicing. So we'll see what is POS, where it has been used, how it has been used in a POS video. So if you want to give a default title to print like tax invoice, so you can give here, and the same thing will be printed in a cash sales invoice. So next we have default bank. So if you want to print a bank details in a sales voucher, you can select a bank name here which you have created. If you are not created, then you can create and later on you can select here. Otherwise, while doing a sales transaction also, you can select this option. And default jurisdiction will be Bangalore. So I'm in Bangalore. So next we have a set alter declaration. So we'll see this option in a terms and condition video. So we'll accept the screen. The same way we create card sales also under sales. So this should not be taken under cash sales. So it has to be grouped under predefined groups itself. So we go with cash sales and will not do anything in this voucher creation. In cash sales we have enabled use effective date for vouchers as yes, we are disabling now in card sales, and even provide narration for each ledger in vouchers also we have enabled in cash sales. So we are disabling here. So the rest of the options will be seen and will accept the screen. So now we'll see what is the difference between cash sales and credit sales, how it will be shown differently by using effective date and ledgers narration part. So we'll go to a transaction level So if you press card sales now, and if you go to change date, so in this voucher type we are not getting a effective date option, we are getting only a voucher date option. So whatever the options you are going to enable in voucher type, so as per that your transaction will act. So if I go with the second example, like, so we'll create one more voucher type in the name of bank payment. So the payment is a default voucher type. So if you want to maintain a bank payment as a separate voucher and a cash payments in a separate voucher, you can go ahead with this. And you can also predefine a bank name in a voucher type. You can enable option called enable default accounting allocation as yes, and set alter default accounting entries as yes here, and you can select a bank name. If you're not created, you can use a create option and you can create it. If not, you can go with bank ledger if it is already created, and we'll accept the screen. So we'll see changes what happens in payment voucher. So if I go with a payment, the shortcut key is F5. So if I go with payment, I'll be getting two voucher types. So I go with a payment, for example first. It is showing in double entry system where it is asking debit and a credit option. So I need to select a bank ledger manually in this voucher type, or a cash ledger, what to credit, either cash or bank. So if I go with bank payment as a separate voucher what we have created, you can see it is converted into a single entry mode and it is taking a bank ledger by default. So even though I'm having cash and bank, the bank ledger has been taken automatically. So if I go with normal payment, this is not the scenario. So if I go with a bank payment, we have predefined a bank ledger what it has to be taken. So this is how you can create a new voucher types as per your requirements. So I think you have understood how to create a new voucher types and what is the reason behind creating a voucher type by saying this session. Thank you.